I welcome you to the third session of this isometric projection topic. Okay. So, in the previous session, we covered the individual solids like prism, pyramid, cone, cylinder, like that. So, now from your exam point of view, generally you will be asked the combination type of problems, that is one solid placed on another, or it might be three solids placed one above the other. Either it might be coaxial or the axis of the solids may vary there, like that. So, based or with respect to such type of problems, we will try to cover two problems, and whatever concepts you are going to learn here, right? So, it can be applied to any type of problems with little bit of your logic and common sense there, right? So, basically, as I told you, in case of isometric projection, it is nothing but you have to enclose the given lamina or solid in a box, and in that box you can draw different types of polygons or circle or ellipse, anything like that. So, coming to this problem, I will just go through the problem. Once again, it's a solved problem, just small modification I have done here. So, a hemisphere, right, in your textbook, it is actually sphere, but I have made it hemisphere. A hemisphere of 40 mm diameter rests centrally with its flat circular face at top, right. So, a hemisphere of 40 dia, right, it is resting with its flat surface at top there, right. On what it is resting? It is resting on the top smaller end of a frustum of a hexagonal pyramid, right. So, you know the hexagonal pyramid, when it is cut or chopped with the help of a cutting plane parallel to the base, then whatever retained portion is there, that is called as the frustum of the pyramid there. So, you are having a hexagonal pyramid, you have cut it like this. So, the base hexagon dimensions are required, top hexagon dimension are required, and the height is required. So, he has given the dimensions here, top smaller end of the frustum of a hexagonal pyramid. The frustum of the pyramid has 25 mm sides at the top, 40 mm sides at the base, and is 80 mm high. Draw the isometric projection of the combination of the solids, right. So, first we have to draw the top view and the front view here. So, when you take the top view, you draw the hexagon, right. So, first take the base hexagon, 40 mm side base hexagon. So, using the circle method, you can construct this outer hexagon, and I will name it as A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and F1, right. Then with that same center, you construct this another hexagon of 25 mm sides here, right. So, this smaller hexagon, you can call it as A, B, C, D, E, F you construct there. Then you connect the retained portion of the slant edges, that is A1, B B1, C C1, D D1, E E1, F F1, you connect it by solid lines, right. So, this is the frustum of the hexagonal pyramid in the top view. Now, you project it to the front view, okay. So, A1 dash you project it here, that will be visible, then B1 dash you project, visible, C1 dash also visible, then D1 dash it is hidden, then E1 dash is hidden, then F1 dash is visible there. So, first get the front view of this base here, right. Now, you project the top face of this pyramid, A you project here, you will get A dash visible, then B you project here, you will get B dash visible, then similarly C dash visible, D dash hidden, E dash hidden, and F dash visible there, right. Then as you have connected here, connect the slant edges A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F and F1. Then on top of it, you are having a hemisphere of diameter 40 mm there. So the dimensioning is done S dia. S means sphere, right? So from here you take an height of 20 mm and draw a semicircle of radius 20 or diameter 40. So that completes the front view. Then in the top view, this hemisphere will be seen as a circle here. Okay, so this is the method to draw the top view and front view of the combination of the solids there. Then you have to draw its isometric projection. So as I have told you, just a minute, I will remove this. So first step is you draw the isometric scale. This is the common procedure which I have told you from the beginning there. So now you see, I will start from this bottom right corner, that is Q1. So mark Q1 here. Now P1 Q1, it is a horizontal line, or before that you enclose this base of the pyramid in a rectangle P1 Q1 R1 S1 there, right, and get this rectangle on the isometric projection. So mark Q1, then take this P1 Q1 length with the help of your compass, get it converted, come and mark it here. P1 Q1 at an angle of 30 degrees. Then you take this line Q1 R1, okay, take its isometric length and mark it on the right side. Again, that will also be inclined line here, right? Since it is top view, both these lines are horizontal. So mark this Q1 R1 here. Then you complete this rectangle P1 Q1 R1 S1 here. Then on this, as I have explained in the prism or the pyramid, you take this distance PA1, which will be equal to QB1, and mark the points here A1, B1. Take this PA1, get it converted, come and mark it here. Same way you mark B here, and at the same time you can also complete this R and D1, and this side you can complete E1. Then you take this P1 F1 distance, get it converted, come and mark F1 here and C1 here, right? So once you complete this, you got the hexagon now, base hexagon. Just connect it by light lines, because right now we don't know what is visible, what is invisible there. So just finish that much. Then next, after completing this, I want to draw the hexagon which is at the top side there. That is this hexagon A, B, C, D, E and F, right? Now this is at an height of 80 mm. So I must get this axis now. Let us call this as O1 dash, this as O2 dash. So I must first get O1 dash here in order to draw this vertical line. Now this is your O1 here. So what you do now, you drop a perpendicular or this center line wherever it comes and meet this P1 Q1. Let us call this as M1. Now you take this distance PM1 and mark it here from P1. Then you observe here this line M1O1, it is parallel to Q1 R1. So draw this line parallel here. Then this other center line, it is nothing but your C1 F1 line. So you connect this C1 F1 line here. So wherever they intersect, you will get this point O1 there, the axis or the center there. Now O1, O2, it is 80 mm, it is vertical. So vertical will remain vertical. So you go to the isometric scale, get its length, come and draw it here. Okay. So here I got the O2. So what is this distance? O1, O2 is iso 80 mm there. Now please concentrate how to get this top hexagon. Once again, this top hexagon must be enclosed in a box here. Okay, so let us call this box as P, Q, R and S, right? And these lines, wherever the rectangle or the center lines, wherever it is meeting the rectangles, these I can call them as 1, 2, 3 and 4 here, right? C and 2 are the same points, 4 and F are also the same points there. So this is important, how to construct a box above the box, right? So remember, in isometric projection, if you understand how to construct a box above the box and box within the box, that is the important thing in your isometric projection. So now you see, you take this distance O11 and O13 and get it converted there. Or before that, now you see, passing through this O2, draw two 30-degree lines here, right? I don't know the length, but I will draw two 30-degree lines. If you draw a horizontal here, 30, 30, two lines you draw there. So now you see, you take O11 or O13, get it converted. Now it is on this line, that is on Q1, R1 there. So on this line, right, you mark the point here, 1 and 3 there. Okay, so take O11, this is O1, this is O2 also. So you take this distance, O21, get it converted, come and mark it here. Same way you mark O23 also, which will be same distance. Then you take this distance, O2C or O22 and O24, it will be same distance, get it converted, come and mark here, O22 and O24 here. Okay, now once you get these points, passing through 1 and 3, please concentrate, passing through 1 and 3, draw lines parallel to other center line. You will not be knowing the length, but the other center line is 2, 4, parallel to that you draw these two lines there. Similarly, passing through 2 and 4, draw lines parallel to other center line. Which is other center line? 1, 3. So passing through 2 you draw here, it will meet here. Similarly, passing through 4 also you draw here, it will meet here. Then whatever is extra thing is there, just remove it with the help of your eraser like that. So now you got this, what you can say, the rectangle for constructing this top hexagon there, right? So now on this you get all these points A, B, C, D, E and F. So again take this PA distance, get it converted, or before that you can mark this P, Q, R and S, right? So take this PA distance, get it converted, come and mark A here. From P mark A, from Q mark B. Then your 2 is nothing but C itself. So this is your C. Then same way RD, SE, right? R2, this is D, this is E, and 4 is nothing but your F itself there. Okay? Then you connect it by light lines here, this top small hexagon, like this. Okay, so you have got the top hexagon and you have got the bottom hexagon there, right? So I hope constructing the top hexagon, it is clear there, right? So this is the method for constructing box above the box. Quickly I will repeat it. Draw two 30-degree lines, then from the center line take the appropriate distances and mark them there, right? And this distance mark it here, and passing through 1 and 3 parallel to 2, 4, passing through 2 and 4 parallel to 1, 3. So you will get that rectangle and mark the 6 points on that. Then next is how to construct or produce that hemisphere there, right? So this is your O2 here. and this is your O3 now. Okay. Now what is this distance? O2, O3 is 20 mm. So go to isometric and mark that 20 O3 here, right? This O2, O3, as usual, it is your ISO 20. Okay. Now this, when you cut the sphere, you are going to have a circle here, right? So that circle is shown in the top view. So once again, you have to enclose this in a box here, right? So now you see how to, you know that, please remember, the isometric projection of a hemisphere is nothing but, it is once again an ellipse. Wherever circle portion is there, there you will be having the ellipse. Then you have to draw this arc taking the true radius there, right? So what you do now, at O3, draw two 30-degree lines. You have to repeat this procedure here. Draw two 30-degree lines there, right? So now you see this distance, O11, you can take all this as O3 now. So O31 and O33, right? Mark them here, 1 and 3. Then this distance, O3, this distance, it will be your same radius, that is 20, 20, 20, 20 they will be. So take ISO 20 and mark these other 2 points also here, 2 and 4. Then passing through this 1 and 3, draw lines parallel to other center line. Then passing through 2 and 4, draw lines parallel to other center line. Okay. So whatever extra things are there, just remove them. Okay. So now you see, you are having a perfect isometric projection of a square here. Now here, by your usual method, 4 centers method, construct the ellipse there. That is, from this end of the shorter diagonal, draw the first arc. From the other end of the shorter diagonal, draw the second arc. Then from this, connect it to the opposite midpoint, other end connect it to the opposite midpoint, and draw this curve here. Similarly, from this end, connect it to opposite midpoint, again opposite midpoint, and complete this part here. Right? So your usual method of constructing the ellipse there. Now once you do that, now please concentrate. You take this O3 as center. See, from O3, here we have drawn a semicircle of radius 20 or diameter 40. Now do the same thing here. Now only for this part, don't go for isometric scale. You take O3 center and take 20 mm radius and draw a semicircle like this. Draw a semicircle. Now just concentrate here. Now what is this distance O2, O3? It is ISO 20. It is less than 20. From O3, you have taken actual radius, that is 20 mm. So you draw that. When you draw that, it should go beyond this O2 here, because O2, O3 is ISO 20, but from O3 I have taken a radius of 20 and drawn here, so it will be going beyond this there, right? Then coming to the top of the hexagon, top and whatever is outside the sphere, show it dark, right? And whatever is inside here, it should be dotted like this. Okay. Then coming to the slant edges, see, leftmost, top and left, top is over. Now take the leftmost, A1 will be leftmost and your D1 will be rightmost. So once that is the rightmost thing, now this is the front portion. Okay. A to B, B1 C1, then C1, 1 second, okay, yeah, C1, D1 here, right, D1, E1 will be dotted, then E1, F1 will be dotted, 1 second, just a moment, this D1 will be here, D1 like this, okay. Then coming to the other slant edges, see A1 is over, next front one is B1, then C1 visible, D1 visible, then E1 will be dotted, then F1 will be dotted like this, okay. So topmost thing completely visible, this semicircle completely visible. When you take the top hexagon, whatever is outside must be dark, and leftmost A1 is dark, D1 is dark. Then front portion A1, B1, C1, D1 should be dark, then B1, C1, D1, you have already done it dark there, right. So this is the method of solving the problems when it is combination of solids. So here we have covered the frustum of hexagonal pyramid along with a hemisphere there, okay. Next I will take one more problem. Once again it is a solved problem in your textbook, and if you are able to draft this problem, right, I am sure that you will be able to draft any problem in isometric projection, provided you just apply the simple logic and your common sense there, right. So now you see the problem here. A combination of solids is formed as follows. A frustum of a cone 25 mm top dia. It is a frustum of a cone. You know how the cone looks. Chop it like this, right? So you will have a small circle at the top and bigger circle at the bottom. That is your frustum of a cone there. Top circle is 25 dia, bottom circle is 50 dia, and height of the cone is 50 mm. It is placed vertically on a cylindrical block of 75 mm dia and 25 mm thick, such that both the solids have common axis there, right. Draw the isometric projection. So you are having a cylindrical block of 75 dia and 25 mm thickness. On top of it, he has placed a frustum of a cone. So in this problem, you will learn how to draw box within the box and also box above the box. Already box above the box you are familiar in that previous problem. So the new thing in this problem is how to construct box within the box, right. So when you take the top view, for cylinder it is diameter 75 and 25 mm thick. So draw a circle here of 75 mm diameter, right. Project its front view, which is a rectangle and thickness is 25 mm. Then coming to the frustum of the cone, the base dia is 50. So draw another circle of 50 mm here. That is your base circle here. Then you draw top diameter is 25 mm. So draw another circle of 25 mm diameter. Then project it here, take the height and get this here, right. So this is your top of the cone, right. See blue I have used here, and this color, this is for the base of the frustum, and this color is for your cylinder part there, right. So for your understanding purpose, I will name them as, this is A1, A1, B1, C1, D and D1 there, right? Now cylinder, previously we have learnt how to draw it, right? And these are your points 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 midpoints, 3, 3, 1, 4 and 4, 1. When you draw the two center lines, you will get those midpoints there, right? So drawing the cylinder, it is repetitive procedure now. Start from this point B1 here. Okay, then draw two 30-degree lines. Again, this is common, you must have the isometric scale. Then take this 75, get it converted, come and mark this here. Then complete this base square here, right? So this is your A1, B1, C1 and D1 there. Then you take this distance A11, get it converted, come and mark the points 1, 1 midpoints, 2, 1, 3, 1 and 4, 1 here. Then light lines, you construct the ellipse with B1 center, B1 3, 1 or 4, 1 first arc, D1 center second arc, then connect B1 to 3, 1 and D1 to 2, 1, you will get the new center, get this curve, then connect B1 4, 1, D1 1, 1 and draw this part. So this is your bottom ellipse there, right? Then you have to construct this top circle or top ellipse. For that, I require these verticals here. So at A1, draw a vertical line which is ISO 25. Because 25 is there, get it converted, come and mark this. This is A. Then at B, you erect a vertical. This is your B. Then same way at C also, you will get the point C. And from D1, you draw this line, you will get D. Right? Now connect this lines A, B, C, D and get that square. Once again, mark the midpoints. From A, mark the midpoint 1 and 4. From C, you can mark the midpoint 2 and 3. Now, repeat the same procedure. From B, 3 or 4, first arc. From D, 1 or 2, second arc. Then from B connected to 3 and from D connected to 2, you will get this third curve there. Okay, it's repetition of your cylinder part. Then connect B4, then D1, you will get next center and connect this, get this curve, right? So this is your cylinder part. Don't draw it dark in the beginning because we don't know what is visible, what is invisible. Now comes the important thing. See, on this top cylinder or top circle, you are having this base of the frustum of the cone, which is nothing but this circle, that is dia 50, right? So enclose this in a box now. Enclose this in a box. Okay, you can call it as E, F, G, H. Okay, you can call it as E, F, G and H. And these points where the center lines are meeting this square E, F, G, H, you can call it as 1, 2, 3, 4 is over. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Let us call this center as O1. This is your O2. So you are already having this O2 here. Okay. Now you see this 5, 6, this is your 7, 1 second, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So you take this distance now, O2 5, right, which will be same as O2 6 or O2 7 or O2 8, right. You take this O2 5, get it converted, come here and on this center line, see this is your center line 1, 3, on that you are having 5 and 7, on 1, 3, 5 and 7 you are having. So on 1, 3 you mark O5 here, from O2 you mark this 5 and this side you mark 7. Similarly on other line, that is 2, 4, you mark 6 and 8, right. So this is your on 2, 4 mark 6, 8 there. Okay. Now please try to concentrate. Passing through this 5, you are having EF, and passing through 7 you are having HG. So in effectively what it is, passing through 5 and 7 you are having two lines parallel to other center line, that is 6 and 8. So passing through 5 and 7, draw lines parallel to 6 and 8, right. So I will draw this line here and this line here, again 230-degree lines there. Then passing through 6 and 8, you are having lines parallel to 5 and 7. Passing through 6 and 8, you are having two lines parallel to 7 and 5, like this. Okay. So you got the box now. This is your E, right. Phi and E are nearer, phi and F are nearer. E, F, G and H here. Okay. Now repeat the procedure and get to the ellipse there. Okay. So one thing you remember, until you finish drafting one ellipse, please don't lift your heads, right, because of number of lines will be crisscrossing here. So concentration is very much required here, right. See, this is your shorter diagonal F and H. So with F center 7 and 8 first arc you draw. With H center 6, 5 and 6 second arc you draw. Then connect F7, H6, you will get a new center, draw another ellipse there, part of the ellipse. Then F8 you connect, H5 you connect, you will get another center, you connect this, get this ellipse. So effectively you have constructed box within the box and an ellipse there, right. So this is for your bottom of the frustum of the cone, that is O2. Then next is you must get this ellipse which is at the top there. So this is O2, O3, it is at an height of 50. So from O2 take a height of ISO 50 and mark O3 there. Okay. Now in the previous problem you have learnt how to construct a square above a square, that is box above the box, right. So again you enclose this top circle in a box there, right. So if you wish 5, 6, 7, 8, you can call these as 9, 10, 11, 12, right. So on this line parallel to 1, 3, see this is your 1, 3, right. Before that, passing through this, you draw two 30-degree lines here. I have already explained to you how to draw box above the box. So draw two 30-degree lines. Now 9 and 11, if you take one distance, see it is 25 dia means this will be 12.5 radius. Take iso length of that. From here you mark the point 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 here. Okay. Now passing through 9 and 11, draw parallel to other center line, that is 10 and 12, this center line and this one. Similarly, passing through 10 and 12, draw parallel to other center line, that is 9 and 11, like this. Okay, then whatever extra things are there, keep on removing them. Okay, so now you construct the ellipse here, right? Same old method. Now, since it is the topmost thing, you can construct it directly dark. Take J and this arc you draw. Similarly, take other end of the shorter diagonal, this arc you draw. Then connect the opposite midpoints. You will get a new center. Draw this curve. Repeat the same procedure here. And you get this curve here. Right? So, once you get that curve, it should be connected to this base of the frustum of the cone by these generator. Right? So, that curve is here. So, you just draw tangential here. Right? Actually, it should come this way. Right? So, for clarity purpose, almost both the ellipses have become equal there. Please don't mind it. Okay. Then, when you come to this bottom portion, front part, keep it solid and back side, keep it dotted like this. Okay. Then, coming to the cylinder part, see, this is your top ellipse, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whatever is outside the frustum, you make it dark, and whatever is behind it, keep it light there, like that. Okay. Then you draw these two vertical generators, left, right, then this is your front part. Okay. Then if you wish, you can just connect this back portion by dotted lines. Okay. So, this is the cylinder on which you have constructed box within the box and got this ellipse. Then you have constructed box above the box and got this ellipse, right? So, if you draft it correctly, right, you will get the exact view. And since it is a solved problem, you are having the solution in the book, you can just refer to that, right? But hope you have got some idea regarding the construction there. So, only advice is, unless and until you complete one ellipse, please don't lift your head there, right? So, if you are able to draft this problem, I am sure that you will draft any problem in isometric projection there. Clear? Thank you.